That's how you get an agent or a manager's attention. Okay, I'm going to go through this list on this page. I hope everybody is on the home page for the class, because I'm going to answer each of the questions directly. Okay, I've told you how I came to this emotional courts business and how it really has created a career where I make a living as an artist. Okay, so the problem number one, these are all the 10 problems that I got sent to me from notes, emails, from the survey. Getting a kick-ass agent who sends me on tons of auditions, booking a speaking role with depth and range, getting your face in front of the camera for TV film auditions, again, getting an agent representation, booking a series regular, recurring guest star, co-star, or pilot, learning how to audition for different genres, more confidence auditioning, how to get TV film auditions when all you have is theater credits, get bigger, more lucrative auditions, improving your audition skills, people empowered to know who you are. These are the problems, okay? I'm gonna go through them one by one, and I'm gonna walk you through what I finally figured out, that this is a business. And if you don't have a business strategy, all these things, all these problems that people have outlined are business problems, all of them. They have to do with the business of acting, not the art of acting. So if you've been working on the art of acting and feeding the art of the acting to the business, no wonder it's not responding. Show business, particularly TV and film. Remember, theater is nonprofit. It is about art. TV and film is about money. So what is the business looking to buy? And how do you sell them what you have to give? That's what the emotional types are about. And that's why it works, because it's a business strategy. It's not you picking up the agent going, you need to send me out for more auditions. I need to go out for more auditions. I need to go out for more auditions. It's, I need to go out for more auditions because of these 4 major types. Don't worry about physical. Here's the script. You pitch me this way and show them this scene. It's a business strategy. And agents and managers like that, because that means you've made their job easier and you're making them money. Right? And when you make an agent's job easier, they're more willing to fight for you. Right? If you give them emotional types, the woman who can fight for all of the fragile people who can't protect themselves in the world, but when it comes to fighting for herself, she always loses. That's the type. That person can be any race, any age. They can have all kinds of jobs. What matters is what they're trying to get in a scene. Okay? If you give an agent, you finally get a meeting, right? And you got people, or you have people, and they're sort of sending you out. They're not enthusiastic about you, which is why they aren't being a kick-ass agent. They have to get enthusiastic about you. And one of the ways they do that is to see your work. And I don't care what anybody says, you must. Your agent team must see your work, and preferably on camera. Okay? And preferably all the emotional notes that you can hit, which is why you need 4 or 5 scenes. Okay? So you get a kick-ass agent by having something to sell them that's sellable, right? A press kit, a website, a reel. All right? All of that has to be in place before you even begin talking to an agent. All right? And the reel, if it's going to get you deep, complicated work, like the role that Mahershala Ali won an Oscar for in Moonlight. I mean, he'd been out there beating the pavement for a long time after he graduated from NYU. And finally, a deep role came along. Part of the reason he wasn't getting discovered is because he was a deep actor and nobody was writing deep roles. So he got to show the full scope of his emotional life. All of his emotional chords were in play. Okay? So let's talk about the step towards getting a kick-ass agent is getting something for them to look at. Once you have something for them to look at, the next question is, which agent do I choose? You're going to have to research them. And then you're going to have to take 2 or 3 people at once and you're going to target them. One by one. And by targeting, that means every 2 weeks you have contact with them. Now, here's the kind of contact that gets noticed. You need to have some content for them to see your work. You need to have a place for them to see your work. If it's not a reel, then it's a show, right? It's a reading, right? So before you make contact with this person, you got to make sure the next 3 months you've got booked up with little jobs they can come see you in, right? And you must have a press kit and reel. What happens if they call you in for a meeting? Okay. And this strategy works. I know it works because I did it with Mandy. So Mandy came to me through Bernard Gray, filmmaker in Philadelphia that I was working with. And he suggested that, she had training, she was out here doing theater, and nothing was happening with her career. And she was still spending money on training, and nothing was happening. And she's a great type, right? But they kept trying to call her in for this sweet girl next door. Okay. How many sweet girl next doors are there for white women with brunette hair? I mean, there are thousands. Most agents are not even signing people in this type. And I was like, Mandy, first of all, you could play girl next door, but your soul is a lot deeper than that. Your soul is a badass. Your soul is a winner. Your soul is the woman who runs shit. Okay? Your soul is the woman that gets shit done, walks all over people, and they don't even know that they've been walked all over. Your soul is deeper than the stuff you're going out for. So let's figure out what your emotional type is, so that it sets you apart from the girl next door. And I'm going to leave all this stuff up for you guys on the page. I'm so excited about this. And if I did mention, I mentioned in the email, this entire class that I'm working on, that I'm doing with you now and walking you through it, is in preparation for next month's 4-week emotional type class. It may be 5 weeks, depending on what the questions you guys ask me today, okay? But Mandy's story was great. We spent 3 hours going through movies, trying to find what her emotional type was, really whittling it down to 4 different major types. And then we began looking at casting directors. And we were like, okay, let's look at a casting director who casts stuff that you like. Okay, you like Louis C.K. You're like, okay, great. All right, let's get a couple of casting directors based on shows that you like, shows that you chose as part of your emotional chords. You see how all this wraps together? You figure out your emotional chords by pulling scenes from shows. And then when you want to make a reel, you just put those scenes on the reel, okay? Mandy said, these are the shows I love. Let's target these casting directors. Let's Google them. Let's find out where they're teaching. And I was like, remember, you have to get in front of them every 2 weeks for 14 weeks. Can you do it? She's like, I can do it. I said, we can do a reel. We can send them a scene one time. You can volunteer to be a reader for them. You can take a class with them. You can go to opening night with them. You can target them. And then when you get a meeting, you actually have a press kit to go in there with. If you target someone consistently, they will remember your name. By the last class, they will then know your name and be like, give me your press kit, give me your headshot. And you have the press kit. Mandy had the press kit. The casting director, I'm not gonna tell you her name because everybody will bombard her, was amazing. She was like, I have this great role for you. I'm calling you in. I don't know if you're gonna get it, but I would love the producers to see you. Mandy went in, she did the role. She didn't get it. The casting director called her 2 weeks later and was like, I'd like to cast you as the lead in the movie. She had spent 3 months targeting this woman. She had done scenes in her classes that spoke directly to her emotional cord. So of course she nailed the scenes, right? We had been coaching and fine tuning those scenes forever, right? And then she had a reel that reflected those chords. The whole package was there. That the woman didn't even have to think. And of course, that casting director cast her and then recommended her to agents, and she got an agent and a manager. She'd been out here for 5 years doing this. In 11 months of us working together, this is what we got done. And we got her TV gigs. We got theater gigs and TV gigs and film gigs. Things that had not been happening. She needed a business strategy. And then we did this strategy for targeting casting directors, but based on the emotional chords. Now, people always ask me, well, how do I get an agent if I don't have anything to show them? How do I get an agent if I have no reel? You make a reel, or you make a project where people can come see you. And there's this funny story with me and Mandy, and she's like, I don't have any money. I'm not good at business stuff. I don't know how to write or produce anything. And I was like, Well, that's what I'm here for. So hire someone to write a script for you that is exactly about the things that you know how to confront, that are exactly about your emotional chords. I want you to sit across from a writer, tell her your 4 major emotional chords,